Okay, so what's today's session about? It is actually more on Pasir Ris 8 because we know, most of us know that over the weekend, the sales for this Pasir Ris 8 new launch was a little bit overwhelming. In fact, if you take a look at this diagram, this schematic diagram, it shows that the number of units that were already sold, and then the few that were left lah. And essentially, this means that all these are shows there is 80%, 88% sold on launch weekend. Okay. It's a little bit a little bit exaggerating lah, to be honest. But the thing is, okay, so we'll zoom in lah to see whether all these insane demand, I would say, is actually justified, or is it just more of a little bit of overhype? Okay. So we take a look at the article. So you can see over here, 88% sold as of now for Pasir Ris 8, or in this case today we will refer it as PR8 lah. Based on this article from Edge Prop, okay, we just have a quick read. They collected more than 1,500 checks, but PRA only had 487 units. And then on the first weekend of launch, you had this, they already sold 415 units. And then obviously now is already 88%. The average price was about 1600 PSF. It started at about 1,004 PSF and then increased 6 times throughout the day. The 2-bedroom saw the biggest jump, up to 360K in one single day. Imagine if you are the one that bought at 9 a.m. at this price. And then within how many hours? 13 hours, you suddenly had to pay an extra 360K. Oh, I think this person hard pain. I have no idea why. I seriously have no idea why this guy is willing to pay 2,116 at this point. I mean, maybe 10 years down the road, 2,116 for Pasir Ris is justified lah. But now for Pasir Ris 2,116, I think a little bit ridiculous lah. Okay, so I think to cut the long story short, today why my view on this whole thing is that it's more of overhype. Okay, and then I will show you the reason why I feel it is a little bit more of overhype than the logical purchase. Let's move forward. Okay, this is the vicinity of Pasir Ris 8. Okay, and then so why am I showing you this? Is because to show you the supply in the entire area, how many condos are there as competition for PR8. And of course, before you go in thinking, why TT, you say all these are competition, but PR8 is right in front of MRT leh. So how can people compete? Because it's an integrated development ma, but the rest are just normal condominiums ma. How to compete? Okay. Yes, we'll address that later. There will be naturally this kind of views coming in, but later we'll see with some data lah to show that whether being an integrated development justifies the extra increase over the surrounding resale flats, okay, resale condos. And before we move on, let's take a look at how many condos are there within 1 kilometer radius of PR8. Okay, this is actually all within 1 km of Coco Palms. As you can see, the distance is only about, I think, about 100, less than 200 meters away. So it is quite accurate lah. Actually, even if 1 km away, this is also within 1 km away. I've checked already. And let's begin. First of all, we have Pasir Ris 8 being the first one. And then you have Coco Palms, you have Dines, you have Pellet, MV Residences, Olivia, Elias Green, Belicia, Ris Grandeur, Oasis, and also Stratum. So based on this map alone, we can see that there are already 11 condominiums lah. Hold on, let me just switch off something. There are already 11 kilometers, including PR8 in the vicinity. Why? Because as long based on our research, as long as it's within 1 kilometers radius, it can be considered a competition. Okay, of course the condo must be of a certain size. Like example, let's say 300 above. I would say above 300 units. Then it can be considered a competition already. And let's move on. Let's take a look at the number of units in the area. We have about before PR8 is okay. Let's see, 8 units. Okay, I forgot to calculate the total. So give me a short moment. First one we have PR8. We have 478, and then we plus 944 in Cocoa Palms, and then the nest we have these Cocoa Palms, and then the nest we have 748, and then we have a pallet at 892, and NB Residences 642, Elias Breed at 419, Divya we have 724 units, and Belicia we have 315. And this one is a double count, so I don't count this. Breeze Grandeur we have 453, and Oasis Elias have 388, and also Stratum we have 380. That gives us a total supply in the area of 6383 units. That means PR8 is contributing to a total of over 6,000 units in the vicinity. How is this a significant number? Later I'll use another vicinity to show how is that a concern. Right? Now we zoom into this area first. A lot of agents are saying, you can consider PR8 because why? Because new launch ma, and then new launch will make money ma, and because you look at Cocoa Palms last time, Cocoa Palms is the newest in the area, and Cocoa Palms made a lot of money. True enough, there are people who made about 300-400K in Cocoa Palms, which is very attractive. I wouldn't deny that. But the thing is, one thing we need to know is that Cocoa Palms got in at this price range. Blue color is Cocoa Palms ma. Okay, I think this one we need to be very, very clear. These are the part that basically most of the agents are not telling you. And those who are hyping out the project, Cocoa Palms got in cheaper than, at this point, let's say when they launch, they got in cheaper than Navy Residences and also Pallet. Then they got in at very, very close to the next price. Okay, Belize obviously not. I think it's a little bit further away, probably that's why. So the price range is quite big. Therefore, you got 3 resale condos around the same price or even more expensive than Cocoa Palm when it launched. Naturally, imagine you can get a fresh 99-year lease and then new facilities, new unit, everything brand new for a cheaper price. Wouldn't you go for that? Okay. And it remained at this level for quite a while, until around here, around 2018 when the TOP ma. So you look at this Cocoa Palms TOP in 2018. Okay, so usually around around the TOP period will be pretty much the peak price that the development can hit. Okay, usually considering that let's say it was launched way before the construction began kind. Okay, nowadays we got a few developments, new launch development. They are launched after construction because depending on all kinds of circumstances. But this one was launched before the construction began. And then everything began, okay, here and there. It started off in 2013 or 2014. And then by the time it completed 2018, and that's when it rose above the competition. And this is the part where people made money. Okay. So why am I pointing this out? Because people are saying a lot of them are using Cocoa Palms to say that hey, this area is profitable. But the thing is, we need to note there are a lot of supply in the area. Let's see, let's say PR8 PRA is like selling at an average of 1,600. 1,600 PSF is around here leh. This range average. Oh, sorry, I'll be a distraction at home. That means if it's launching at this price, so much above Coco Palm, because Coco Palm is here ma. Okay, so that means the price range is around here. The most recent transacted price for Coco Palm is about 1,002. That essentially translates to a 400 PSF more expensive than the newest estate, which is Coco Palms. And given that, let's say PRA launched in 2021, and then it will probably compete in, for let's say 4 years' time, 2025. Coco Palm was done in 2018. So that means Coco Palm by then will only be about 7 years old. If let's say Coco Palm, example, appreciate next time to about 1,003, and these people bought an average of 1,006, and of course if they will want to make a profit, so if they want to get out at 1,008 PSF, or even I would say 1,009 PSF, okay, they want to gain an extra 500 to 600 PSF. Oh, my bad, I think it's a little bit unclear. Let's say this is Coco Palms, and then this is PR8 and this is the premium that PR8 people are paying over Coco Palms. Imagine you put yourself in your future buyer's shoes. Within, I would say, walking distance between the two. You have walking distance between the two. Okay, and only 7 years apart, will you be willing to pay 500 to 600 PSF extra for this? Okay, of course they can say integrated development, but honestly, if I stay at Coco Palm, I walk over. Let's say you look at a 1,000 square feet unit, and then you're looking at the 600 PSF premium for PR8, 600K for the same size, and then just 7 years younger. Will you be willing to pay? Of course, there will be some buyers who would either want new one then okay they may be willing to pay. But how many of them are willing to do that? Okay, because don't forget we are in the area of high supply. Okay. I'm not saying nobody will buy, but the thing is, I'm not saying to copy that. My concern is whether people are willing to pay that next time, okay, or will they go to Coco Palm next time? Okay, from what I see, I think I believe Coco Palm may be able to go up, okay, over the next few months because of PR8. So, how is the situation in Coco Palm a concern? It is that we zoom into this Tampines West. Okay, just another case study. For Tampines West, we have Park Central that is still building. Probably TOP, I think probably not so fast. 2024 around there, 2024, 2025 around there. Okay, and then you have Alps, all these kind, and okay. I put all this number rank from the newest to the oldest in the vicinity. Tampines West, we have Park Central, who is going to be the newest, and then the second newest is but Park Central is easy, so we don't look at it yet. Tapestry, you have 681 units, just TOP this year, earlier this year, and later we'll show you some figures for regarding Tapestry. The next one was will be Alps 2019 TOP. So only 2 years apart Okay, then later we see whether there's any price difference And then Santorini also 2 years apart from Alps not far away All these are just one down the road and definitely within walking distance. And before Santorini, just 1 year before Q Bay was done. Before Q Bay, 2 years we have Arc at Tampines and also Waterview at Tampines. So you see, that's the problem when you have an area with a lot of rather new condos all together. It doesn't mean that you have monopoly. It doesn't mean that you have dominance in the area, because a buyer, if your price is too high, the buyer will be thinking, hey, since the other development, the resale condo is not too expensive, then why do I consider that one? Because let's say if it's 200-300 PSF more cheaper, and then only 2 years younger, I mean, to me, why not? Because in today's market, it is very easy to buy something. But if we are looking at selling next time, that is the tough part. It's very easy to enter the market, but selling and exiting the market is going to be the challenge. Okay, so take note, all these are very tight. This one is let's say 2024. This will be about 3 years, but then this one will need to wait for another 5 years after completion since they're EC in order to be able to sell. So we zoom into Tapestry. Tapestry only 2 years older than this, and then this is only 2 years than this, and just now with the rest we already said before. Let's look at the price performance. Okay, Tapestry, this one is only a one-off lah. I seriously don't think it will maintain at this level, because later I'll show you why. Arc at Tampines and Arc at Tampines was 2014, so it remained at this price level. For Q Bay residences, you realize Q Bay didn't really go up. The line is pretty much went up a little bit only. The line is like this, quite stagnant, I would say. And then followed by Santorini, also not say very significant jump. The next one will be the Alps. Okay, the Alps went up quite a bit actually. Okay, but Tapestry, not really the case. It actually went down towards the end of the condos completion, construction, the completion of the construction, and then now it's a little bit more on the higher side. But how long can it sustain? We don't know, because all these are Q3 data, but this one Q3 data is missing. Okay, why? Because there are simply no transaction yet as of now in Q3. That's why now in this chart you cannot see that. Okay, as you can see, Tapestry is not really performing well so far because of the high supply in the area. Just now we forgot to point out the total number of units in the area is about 5,000 plus. Okay, I think this is haven't even included in EC, the Park Central. Okay, but remember just now this one is 5543, and then we are seeing less than ideal price performance in terms of Tapestry. And then PR8 area, we have 6383 units. Isn't that worse? Okay, so anyway, back to Tapestry. So this is the price performance. This is the performance of Tapestry so far. We have 7 profitable transactions, and then only 1 unprofitable transaction. You may be thinking, oh, good, 7 to 1, but then let's zoom into the numbers. Let's look very carefully. First, we have 1 profitable, unprofitable. This one is confirmed unprofitable already, so we don't look at it. And then we look at the bottom 4 first, the first 4 profitable transaction in this development. If we look at if you are looking at a single 5-digit figure, very likely these people are not making net profit. Why? Because you have buyer stamp duty, which is easily purchase price, let's say or $1 million purchase price, and then you times 4%, you minus 15400, there is already 20k plus. Okay, if I'm not wrong, it's 24600. And let's say if you have a $1.5 million purchase, how much is that gonna be? 1.5 is 4% minus 15400. Let's say for 1.5 million, this will be 44600. And these units are not small. Okay, this is the unit size. This is the unit size of the units that were being transacted. So these 3 are not small at all. And then they made only this amount of money. Imagine this is the buyer stamp duty. This goes to the government, so this they don't get the CAPE. And then they also have probably, let's say, agent fees. Okay, this is the tough part. So they don't earn this amount of money, and this takes a huge chunk of out of this. So these 2 are confirmed already unprofitable. This one, let's say you factor in agent fee, and then you factor in interest, as we mentioned in the first few sessions of my Property Insight episodes, then you realize that this one is actually not making money also. So definitely this one and this one is out. And on top of that, what's worse, because they bought during this time and then they sell during this time, they are holding on to less than 1 year. This one also hold on to less than 1 year. This one also hold on to less than 1 year. Guess what? They gonna seller stamp duty. That means, let's say $1 million unit. They sell, they still gonna $120,000 tax from the government to basically to the government for selling too early, because it's a cooling measure government don't want to speculate and buy and sell so fast so they kena this one. This one is definitely unprofitable. This is definitely unprofitable. This is already unprofitable for sure, because got buyer's stamp duty, got 120K, then that's it, gone already. Okay, and this one also unprofitable because buyer's stamp duty already killed this deal. Now we are left with three. These three I've checked already. I don't think they have seller stamp duty, so don't have to worry about this. They made their profit lah, but after, let's say, you minus off this amount, okay, either one is in between lah. Let's say they bought in between these two figure, then you minus all this. The profit margin is only maybe about high 5-figure long, which is not exactly very, very attractive lah, considering we have some developments in other OCR regions. They are making like 300-400K. So therefore, I feel in places with high supply, in this case Tapestry, it may not be a very, very wise investment decision lah, especially if, let's say, you're buying a condo for upgrading. Some people will think that it's downgrading, but it's, if you think about it for long-term future, is to build your assets, then you would have made money for your future lah. Okay, let's say in this case, those people who made 300-400K, then they would have used this money to invest elsewhere or go and do some other things to improve their net worth. Okay, so that is Tapestry. And also one thing we also need to note is that 7 transactions recorded for profitable, 1 transaction unprofitable. That means a total of 8 transactions so far from the start of the year, TOP till now, only 8 transactions. But there are 99 of them on sale. So what does this mean? Is there enough demand for the area? Are all the buyers flocking to Tapestry? And if there is not enough demand, if you have too many suppliers trying to sell their unit, will you be able to charge a high price? And if you cannot charge a high price, what will happen if you really need to sell? Let's say they are looking at investors. Remember, if there is lower demand and then high supply for economics, what will happen? Your price will come down. And let's say, and this is the only way if you want to sell it off. Okay. If not, nobody want to sell, everyone to hold the price, and then nobody wants to pay the price, this will remain. And this is the scary part. When you have 99 properties on sale, this is going to be quite a concern. Does this mean that there is not enough demand in the area simply because there is too many supply in the area? Okay. But then again, so back to this, a lot of people are saying, the thing is, we have this one PR8 is different. PR8 is an integrated development so that means it's special that means it got competitive advantage because ultimately if you want to buy a condo, you need to look at competitive advantage. Okay, that's true enough, because when people want to sell Pasir Ris A to you, they will say that, it's about convenience, people like convenience. Yes, correct, people like convenience, but when the convenience is maybe 100-200 PSF, okay lah, as a buyer, I will gladly buy it, and then I don't see why, if I as a buyer I want to buy it, the other buyers won't, because they are likely to be a lot more emotional buyers than I do. But the thing is, if it's like 300-400 PSF and more, maybe 300-600 PSF more for development that is just nearby, and if I want that convenience, might as well I get a car. Right? Because if I get a car, I can get it for less than 100K, and then I can move around anywhere in Singapore and if I want. And then yes, there's still running ongoing costs but the thing is, if I want to pay 600 PSF and I want to buy a 1,000 square feet unit, that's going to be an extra 600K. Why would I want to pay 600? How many years of cars can I use? I can probably use like 5 to 6 years. I mean 5 to 6 cycles of car. I can buy like 50-60 years worth of 50 to 60 years worth of car use, I'll probably be gone from the planet by now lah. Okay, because there are people are saying hey, have you heard of North Park or not? North Park make a lot of money there. North Park in Yishun so Ulu made a lot of money Yes, that one I don't disagree with that. There are people who made like I think 400 to 600K for North Park. 400K. Look at this. It's not just one. The whole chunk of them making 400K for 400K, 2 to 400K. And then there are 44 transactions that were profitable, and also 2 that were unprofitable. And so that makes it a success, I would say, because 44 to 2 and then there are so many of them making a whole huge chunk of 6 digit. These are confirmed plus chop net profit. Okay, easily net profit of 200K and above. But so this is the reason why North Park cannot be compared to PR8, because if you take a look at the surroundings, there is essentially almost no competition for North Park residences. Are there any competing supply? Are there any resale condos nearby? So if somebody wants to buy somewhere that is near to North Point, where can they go to? Nowhere else, they can only go to North Park. Okay, so North Park has so-called monopoly there. So much is like, if you want, if you want, you buy here, if you don't want, then too bad. So if the sellers here want to up their price, and the buyer really want to stay in that area, who can they go to? They cannot go to anywhere else, they can only come to North Park. So once you have the dominance, you are very easily able to make that profit. Okay. Now, the other one will be integrated. People say integrated is good. Then now we look at Bukit Panjang. Okay, because we don't just use one example, we use a few others examples also. So Bukit Panjang is also another example. We have the Tannery, which is just right in front of Bukit Panjang. And we also have Hillian Residences, which is just right in front of the Bukit Panjang LRT. So we have 2 Macam integrated, and they have malls below them. One is Junction 10, the other one is Hillian Mall. And then either one of them has a bus interchange, if I remember correctly. I think so. That means this is a fully integrated development, either one of them. One TOP in 2014, the other one TOP in 2017. And we also have a few surrounding condo, unfortunately, for them. So we have one Tannery, the one in Hillian Residence. We also have Hillstar and May Springs, Linear, Hazel Park Condo, Cashew Heights, and also Cashew Park. Oops, I accidentally cut this out. So we have 8 condominiums in the area. And again, let's take a look at the performance of these 2 in detail, the Tannery and also Hillian, because you are looking at integrated development. Remember, people are saying integrated development is different, so now we look at integrated development. Hillian Residences, this is the performance. People will say a 35 profitable transaction, and then 6 only. Isn't that a success like North Park? But we take a look, how many of them are 6-figure? Only 1 and 2. Only 1 and 2. The rest are 5-figure. So after your buyer's stamp duty, and then after your agent fee, which is typically 2% and above, some charges more than 2%, and then you also have your loan interest, and then your maintenance fees, and then you also have what's the other one? Seller stamp duty may not have. Let's say some did their renovation. Okay. Also your legal fees. Because you buy sell also need a lawyer, you don't just need an agent, you also need a lawyer. You need a conveyancing lawyer. And after you add all these costs in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, are these people actually making money? I seriously don't think so. Okay. So does this mean that this area, this integrated development has a significant advantage if you are trying to make money off it? I don't know. Same goes for Tannery. We have this one is a little bit lucky worse. This one got 36 profitable transaction, which looks healthy, but none of them are 6-digit and above, 6-figure and above, none of them, which essentially implies that almost all of them are making a loss. And then you have 42 of them making a confirmed clear-cut unprofitable transaction. That means they lost money. And these are the amount of money they lost. Almost one made it to 6-figure, or no, two of them almost made it to 6-figure loss. That's how bad it was. Okay, for Tannery. So does this mean that integrated is always good? We don't know. Okay. And so now people are thinking a PR8 now that people are buying this kind of price, then does it mean that the market is overly inflated? So now is not a good time to buy. Yes, in fact I always tell my clients now resale may actually not be a good time to buy because everyone knows that this is a seller market. Okay, if everyone knows that this is a seller market, and if you are the seller, will you sell cheap? And if you don't sell cheap, it's gonna be a good deal to the buyer. If it's not a good deal to the buyer, then what are people buying? Then people will say, when why go buy new one? Okay, simple logic. Because these people get in at the same price together. But in PR8, no leh. People are not buying at the same price, ma. People want this guy, this lucky guy got in at 9 o'clock, buy at 1,600 PSF, and then this guy 13 hours later buying 2,000. So in this case, I think the guy definitely did not get a good deal at all. And I have no idea. I seriously don't think he's gonna see any profits from this. And this guy, I think 1,006. If the market is in his favor next time, maybe he can exit at 1,007, 1,008. Okay, but for now, I think if selling at 1,007, 1,008 and Coco Palm remains at 1,003, I don't see why people won't go towards Coco Palms. Okay. Then again, there are a lot of other, not a lot, there are actually only a few other developments that we feel we can buy if you're looking from an investment point of view. So which one is it, I'm not going to say today because it's going to take a long time to explain. Anyway, back to the where we stopped just now. Since people were saying, oh, it's so expensive, that kind of thing. Why is it so expensive? Okay, I got clients calling me, hey, Xiao, why is it so expensive? Wow. Then how are Singaporeans going to survive? So what are developers thinking? Are they even thinking for the people? But the problem is, developers are not the government. Why should they think for the people? They are thinking for their shareholders who are expecting them to earn money for them. Therefore, but the thing is, they are not, to be honest, it's not easy to be a developer nowadays. In fact, imagine this developer bought EC at this price, bought this at this land bid price, 600 plus. Then you sell at 1,002, people say, so expensive, or make a lot of hoo-ha, but you only make 10% profit. Let's say you set up shop, you can do all the legal thing, you can do everything, and then you buy a cookie, for $1, and then you sell it off at $1.10. Will you go and do or not? Most of us will be doing it, but why are the developers still doing it? So you can see developers actually quite sad nowadays. They put out a little bit, they cannot niao. Then they want to sell near break even, you cannot possibly sell near break even, below break even. It's not that you do so much work, take so much risk, and then for what? You're essentially killing yourself. So back to this slide, it shows that this tender close date was just 4 days ago. New EC at along Tampines side, near towards the Elias Green side. Land bid came out 600 plus, so break even expected is 1,135, and then profit next time expected selling price will be at least around this price, 1,002 PSF for EC. Nowadays the EC selling price average is around 1,001 plus 1,001 PSF plus. Okay, so this means that the land is getting more expensive, and it's not really the developers that are pushing out the prices. Of course, we don't talk about PR8 lah. PR8 is a totally different story because the developers towards the end, they are making a big fat profit margin. Okay, but not all developers are as lucky because not all developers are hyped up as much. Then the next one will be Landor. Along Landor also the same day close tender. This one, the break-even price is 1,009. Developer cannot sell you at 1,009. If not, then they can't even buy rice to eat rice. They cannot afford. They cannot afford to sell you this, so they will at least maybe make 10% profit. They will be selling this. And imagine paying 2136 for Lentor, the Yio Chu Kang. How many of them will be willing to pay? And because of this, but Bopin, they have to sell at this price. And will there be people who buy? I'm very sure next time when the market slowly shift towards that price range, I'm very sure people will be buying it. Because every time when we are looking at a property, it will be expensive. People will be saying, wow, so expensive. But next time, 10 years down the road, I should have. I should have. But then, but the thing is, time travel is not possible. Okay, even if a magical power also cannot bring you back. Therefore, why am I showing you this? Because of this, all this development, that's why very likely it has caused a push in PR8. And then I will say in this sense, PR8 developers are very lucky because they happen to launch the development just 2 days after this GLS bid came out. And therefore they are riding on a hype of high land bid prices. But whether this will last, I honestly don't think PR8 is able to sustain at 2,000 plus PSF. I seriously don't think so. Okay, I foresee I mean, in my personal opinion, I foresee a PR8 drop in asking price next time. Now they're asking for 2,000 plus for 2-bedroom, but I seriously don't think there are many people who will buy at this price for 2-bedroom. Okay, so just another wrap up. Government land sales at this price. So Lentor just and the new EC came out. Average expected they are selling at this price. I don't actually in fact to be I think Lentor is higher lah. Can't be selling this so near break even lah. Ang Mo Kio also. This one, all these 3 pieces of land came out in end of May, and this will be the normal selling price next time long. Next year's actually very likely they are going to launch the developments next year, and next year we'll be seeing all this price. And if they happen to be selling all these OCR at this kind of prices, then all the current RCR they are asking for between 1,500 to 2,001, 2,002 PSF. All this will be snapped up very fast because these land bid prices really send a strong signal that land prices are not going to be coming down, because all these are land bids. And why are developers so bidding out so much money for land is because they have no more land. And without land, how are they going to do business? Okay, there were naturally a lot of people who are worried. Why is there going to be a bubble burst? Is the market overheated? Yes, everyone knows that the market is super hot right now. But does it really mean that the people cannot afford? Okay, so I dug out all this data from SingStat, and then I compare the financial assets that we have in our household, including CPF, and versus our total liabilities. So not just mortgage, house loan, we also have personal loan, everything. So I tally this up, and then this and the financial assets along with the CPF, and we added them together, and then I compare year-on-year increase. So percentage of financial assets divided by liabilities, we have almost 3 times for 190.95, and then all the way to 20204 quarter. You see, last time was 3 times. Now then 2020 is actually 4.5 times assets over liability there. That means what? That means Singapore in general, people are getting wealthier. There are a lot more assets, fluid assets under our names. But then, are there as much loans? Yes, the loans have been growing, but they've been growing at a smaller rate. So, in order for us to better digest this data and then save you all the confusion with all the numbers, yes, I had to do all the heavy lifting to simplify it for you. Okay. So this is the graph that I plotted for all this data. Obviously, Excel did it for me. So I'm not going to be so free to be drawing out of this. For what we see is that in all these numbers are in millions. So these are obviously hundreds or thousands of billions. Okay, so you can see the blue one is financial assets. Financial assets has been growing on an exponential rate since 1995. Of course, bearing some economic crisis, then dropped a little bit in 2007. The global financial crisis dropped a little bit. So the rest of the year, especially after 2013, you realize that it increased even faster. But on the other hand, for liabilities, for our liabilities for mortgage and also personal loans, you realize for property, it increased quite a lot last time, especially from year 2010 to 2013. Because the market, actually 2009 to 2013, because the market was recovering rapidly after the global financial crisis, so people were snapping up properties like mad. And then after TDSR came in, uh, property loans are actually kind of like a stagnate. Why? Because of all the cooling measures. But on the other hand, assets have been going up. So what does this mean? People are complaining, property prices are hot, overly priced, increasing so fast. But the unfortunate and fortunate fact is that actually Singaporean household can't afford it. That's why we are seeing younger and younger people actually getting into the condo scenes. Okay, depending on the jobs, not say everyone they can but then again, those with with better jobs are able to afford So in general, assets growth has already far exceeded the mortgage loan growth, mortgage and personal loan liabilities I would say. So based on this, I plot out these percentages over here, year-on-year increment of these financial assets over liabilities. So and then we see a certain pattern. This one was the Asian financial crisis. Assets divided by liabilities actually became negative. Okay, for a year-on-year percentage growth. So same goes for the dot-com crash, also negative. After that, economy recovered a little bit, especially this period was the SARS period, and then recovered a little bit, went up. All this whole became positive period, and global financial crisis crashed again, and then went up. And this was the part where the property people began snapping out the property like crazy, and then where I think this sent a very, very strong signal to the government that they needed to introduce cooling measures, and hence you can see so many cooling measures along this line ever since 2009 to 2013. Okay, but after TDSR came in 2013, it has stopped being negative. It has stayed positive throughout, and then surged in the past 2 years. So why are we seeing all this again? Because it shows us that our property assets are far more than liabilities, and hence, yes, property prices are expensive now, but it's simply because our people can't afford it. Okay, I have I'm only 31 this year, but I have quite a lot of friends, or maybe some of them even younger than me, already buying a condo. So what does this mean? The good news and the bad news is that property prices are going up. The good news is that our nation in general are getting richer. Okay, so I think that's pretty much all we have today. I already taken like 40 minutes of the time. So as usual, anything you can just text me. If not, this will be the end of the session, and then hopefully you have gained some insights on the property scene in Singapore, and especially on Pasir Ris 8. Whether is it a hype or is it a buy, is really up to your own decision after my sharing. Okay, that's all we have for today, and then see ya. Bye bye.